Time on the track.
I was raised, shit that don't have nothing to do with you, you
Just
stick
stay
your
out of
nose in it, it might get shot off.
Right.
So I didn't even know. And now things make so much sense. And I'm like, damn, you really was oblivious to a lot of things. When I finished my rhymes, my shows, I always went home to my children. So I wasn't moving around knowing this and that, you know.
Wasn't hanging.
And people kind of thought I was based on having children and having a family.
Put them on the charger. Put them one that's on the side on the charger.
You know,
Right.
I had children and I have a family. And, you know, so people think, yeah, you gotta know because you this one and that one best cousin.
Right.
But no, I really mind my business because my grandmother was a gangster.
You be on YouTube a lot? You watch YouTube a
So
lot?
now I go and find, you know, like I'm looking on the YouTube and then they'll say, like the day such and such died. And I'm like, oh, well, I remember on the news that he got killed.
but
and
not
I
knowing what
remember
happened,
hearing-
yeah.
But I never knew what happened. Then you click on and then you'd be like, what? Look, do you remember when I did the Q93 commercial? That was right after the payback when Mike Fox was at Q93.
You did the commercial?
It was the Mike Fox and Wild Wayne intro commercial. I did the intro for that.
Mm-hmm.
So
I probably had to hear it. I can't remember it.
I did that intro in the Florida project, and the guy Trini recorded us. Trini used to make beats. Trini had
Red
like
Trini with the good hair?
Yep, Trini used to make beats.
And he used to rap too a little.
Yeah,
too.
he rap, yeah.
Nice, yeah.
So when I did the Q93 commercial, it's a part where Free My People come on in it. And I'm saying Q93's on the road, let that mixture roll. So then I want people bucking me up in the back. Oh, yeah. That was Damone and Paul Hardy
What?
were backing me up. And me and my partners, we used to go see The Faces of Death. It used to show at the lakeside. We used to go see that movie with them. You couldn't have paid me to believe that they would carry a gun or shoot anybody.
Right.
Because it was music. You couldn't have paid me that Trini would even know anybody.
Like that. Right.
Because we did music.
Right.
And so my life has been
Music.
entangled in hip-hop. And my introduction to people is only
through
what they
hip-hop.
show me. I
Right.
never would be asking somebody, well, who is this and what they do? Because I always worried about being in somebody's business. And
Right.
in the 80s, people used to get killed for being in
Right.
people's business.
Right.
So I'm
Or even inquiring a certain
Yeah,
kind of
like
way. Right.
asking
What you asking
who's
about?
asking-
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you doing asking about my business?
Hey, I don't want
Right.
nobody's business.
You be talking about a nigga and don't even know that's the nigga.
Yeah. Don't even
See,
know.
So I
Cheese
learned,
what?
yeah, you know that cheese right there.
Yeah, I learned to not be in nobody's business and to only judge people off of what happens every time I see them. You
It
know,
makes it you.
And like I say, I've been blessed because everybody that I've ever met, the same way I meet them is the same way we always are. You know, like that's just the honest to God truth. You know, I didn't I wasn't in the rap game to play like I was in the dope game.
Right.
You wasn't, right.
It wasn't that, you know. I had no caps in my raps. Like this caps is lying.
You think that you get the flowers you deserve? or the recognition you deserve, or the respect you deserve as being the artist you are, and coming from all the things you've come from in the game and the parts that you play in the game? Do you think that you get your proper accolades as being who Mia X is?
The reason why I think I do is because I stay in the love. So instead of concentrating on who people think may hate or who I think may overlook me, I concentrate on who never overlooked me, who always support me, who have been through the different chapters in my life, music and books and food. So I kind of stay there because we talked about this early, how the body can survive everything. It's the mind you have to worry about. And so if you stay focused on who don't love you, who forgets you. Now, sometimes I do call myself Cinderella when I'm laughing with my other friends that have more notoriety. And I think a lot of it have to do with coming from the South. We got overlooked a lot, you know. And sometimes when you're from the South, you become an afterthought. And not just the South, but like when you're not from Atlanta or you're not from Miami, because that's been the two go-to places when we think of like what's big in the South. When you, how can you miss Cash Money and No Limit? How can you miss that when we talking about the building of the South? But I stay in the love, so I don't have it on my heart, because a lot of people, when we don't stay in the love, it start coming out when we speaking. And when we're around people, you see the bitterness. You see when people feel forgotten. And that can cloud all the good stuff you got going on and the good stuff you did. So
going to do.
Yeah.
When you
stay in the love.
When you was in the
hold on, okay. Because you said, how could you overlook the Cash Money and No Limit? I won't get to that. Do you think New Orleans will ever get the ball like that again? It's so much talent in the city right now. Do you think New Orleans will never ever take control like that again?
You know, I think as long as there's people that have the drive that Slim and Baby and Percy has, because that's what it takes. It takes somebody that's not going to sleep, not going to take a bath,
right?
That's really going to be a foot soldier for their label. And it takes artists to not feel like, put me in a microwave and I'm cooked. It takes artists to understand the slow process and for it to register to them that music is timeless.
Right.
You're never too old to do music. Songs is never too old. As long as you have that, Betty Wright told me that God gave you the gift of song. You'll always be able to write a song. So for artists, you know, they have to understand that, okay, such and such blew faster than me. Instead of getting mad, I'm going to keep working. I'm going to keep working. Before I got to No Limit, I sold everybody music in Peaches. And Payback did what it did, and then I watched artists come out like PNC, Jubilee, you know, constantly put out these great bodies of work, and people was flooding in by the thousands to buy their music. And it didn't make me feel like, well, I ain't going to do nothing because I have the gift of song. So we can't get distracted. And since we have these short attention spans now where nobody don't want to read past a paragraph, nobody don't want to read a book in its entirety, if you keep that mindset, the bitterness will always fuel the self-doubt, will always add to the procrastination. You got to get that mindset out. New Orleans is, I think, the most talented place on earth.